the best photos, in my opinion. The best photos that we have is ex-President Barack Obama with the CEO of Alibaba Chapter. It's quite an interesting story behind this. We were on our way to APEC SME. We were one of the delegates of SME, that's Small Medium Enterprise. This is CEO Summits. So we were one of the delegates for APEC SME. During that time, all of the roads in Makati were closed. So we had no choice but to go down along De La Rosa and walk all the way to Chino Roses, which is the venue for the SME Summit. So while we were walking on the way to the venue, I received a call. And the call goes something like this. Like, hello, is this Aisa Mijeno? I'm White House representative, public affairs attaché of the White House. We would just like to ask, would you want to be part of a session, a panel discussion together with the President Barack Obama and CEO? So that the term is panel discussion. One of the panel members. So I thought it's gonna be like 10 of us up on stage. I didn't know that it's just gonna be 3 of us. So the first emotion I felt when I was asked the question was not actual excitement, it was fear. Fear, because we were starting up. I didn't know anything about startup before. Of course, I'm an engineer. My brother is the one handling the business side of the social enterprise. So the fear, because this is not just national exposure, this is international exposure. So for sure, we'll be receiving a lot of questions after the session. So after the lady hung up the call or ended the call, she mentioned that she's gonna be sending me an email after the call. So when we reached the venue for the SME, I immediately checked my email just to see who sent the email, and I actually Googled her just to make sure that it's not scam or something. So I Googled her. What I immediately saw was her LinkedIn account, and it says that she's actually the public attaché for White House, so it's legit. So I pulled in my brother and asked him if we're gonna agree on this. And what my brother told me is, I guess, one of the things that changed our entire lives. My brother told me, because I was having a second thoughts, I was actually in the brink of dismissing, not agreeing with the whole thing. But what my brother told me is, he told me that Ate, out of all 100 million people in the Philippines, why they choose you, it's something na it's a very big opportunity that you shouldn't let go. Whatever happens, of course, we have to deal with it. Pero don't let go of that sort of life-changing opportunity. So after that, the lady on the email said that she's gonna call again in the afternoon. We didn't have any. My brother is not. We're startups, but we don't have like the business super formal business attire. So I had to go to Festival Mall to buy him like suit. So during the time we were buying him suit, I received again the call just to like finalize whether we would agree with the whole setup. So I finally said that yes, we will be there. We will attend the CEO Summit, and we will be one of the panel members. I still thought that it's gonna be like more of us, not just 3 of us. So the next morning, the session's gonna start at around 10 in the morning, but I was called in to be there around 9. So it was APEC CEO Summit. The venue was in Shangri-La, Makati. So we went there. We were super early. We were like 7:30, 8 in the morning. We got to the venue. The problem is, when we were about to enter, we were not on the list. That's the time I realized that the only people who knew about everything, the session, was just me and the US government. APEC organizers didn't know about it. The local governments didn't know about it. We were not on the list, so we weren't allowed to go in the venue. So I had no choice but to dialogue or call the contact that we have inside the U.S. Embassy inside. I guess he's part of White House. So what happened after is something that we will never forget for the rest of our lives. Two towering men went to the entrance of Makati Shangri-La. Black suit, earpiece. So like what you see in the movies. Secret agents, secret service. So we were fetched in the entrance, and there were a lot of people in the lobby, most of which for sure quite popular businessman, billionaire businessman in the Philippines. The sort of Ayala, Lopez, Ramon Ang MVP. And while we were walking in the like going to the green room, they call it the green room, like the waiting area. Two of the two Secret Service said that VIP passing through. So all of the people in the lobby, the billionaire businessmen were. So nahawi namin sila. So yeah, so it's a very life-changing experience, something that we will never forget for the rest of our lives. And the hardest part was seeing up on stage, there were only 3 chairs. Jack Ma, President Obama. So that was the time that everything sank in. I couldn't feel my knees, like I was floating in there. Fortunately, before the session itself, we were able to have a chance to talk to Jack Ma, who's a very humble guy. His story is quite fascinating as well. He's a rags to riches. He told us that he didn't actually get a degree in English. He used to be an English teacher in a university, but how he learned English was it was self-taught, and he actually got employment as a tour guide in Beijing. He's from a province in China, so he got he was employed as a tour guide in Beijing, and that's the reason why he was able to practice the English language, and that's why he was actually fluent in English. And this the story of Jack Ma is very fascinating as well. And we got like an hour and a half discussion of he was trying to encourage us to keep on pushing forward. Because with Alibaba, he told us that there were times that like 5 long years they didn't have any revenues. Most of the people in Alibaba during that time didn't even have salary, but they believed in the vision. They kept on pushing forward, and yes, look at them now. So President Barack Obama, we just able to talk to him about 15 minutes. But within that 15 minutes, we learned so much. We learned a lot of things, how innovation is shaping up the economy of the US, and how innovation is very important at the same time. So yeah, it's a very overwhelming experience, and we were very thankful for, of course, the U.S. government for giving us the opportunity, because this opened a lot of doors for us. It helped us get partners, collaborate with industries to help us create and assemble the lanterns. So yes, so next slide please. So before I end up my presentation, I'm just gonna show you a small video clip of some of the villages that we have helped and how it's shaping up their their daily lives. So.
We usually rely on this rechargeable battery. Does the battery work okay for you? It's small, so it doesn't last very long. Then it takes 1 day to recharge. It lasts 5 days. Where do you recharge the battery? We have to carry it 10 minutes away for that. Each time we recharge, it costs 50 pesos. We do it 4 times a month, so that's 200 pesos.
That's the same as a regular electricity bill.
That's right, so we can only use a lamp in one room. When you think about it like that, it's more expensive than having a normal electricity supply. Having a little more light makes life easier. It's hard to live without electricity. At night, all we can do is sleep.
Concerned about the cost of recharging the batteries, the family typically uses no light after 6 o'clock in the evening.
This is a prototype of the salt lamp I brought to show you. Let me show you how to use it. All you need to put in is water and salt. It works with seawater too. It's very simple. It uses salt you can buy at the market. You make salt water with the salt. Then you just insert the lamp.
Excellent.
So nice. Yes.
I really can't believe it. It's amazing that the light turns on just from salt and water. It's very bright and incredible. This is just so great.
For the first time, the light from the lamp lets the children study at home, when until now they had to finish it at school.
It's so bright. I really like it.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Lives together with 7 other members of her family.
So that was a NHK documentary. It's called Her Story. We did it like last month, and yes. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you actually don't have to do like big things to make a change in the world. For the young people, I guess one of the advice that I want to share is, as early as possible, try to discern and learn what success means to you. Because success means a lot, like differently to every people. You can be successful in terms of money, relationship, and another thing is don't be afraid of failures, of making mistakes, especially when you're young. Take this as an opportunity for you to learn. And if you're gonna dream for yourself, I'll always tell this to my students. Actually, I also teach at a university in Batangas. So if you're gonna dream for yourself, please include the country in it. Because who's gonna dream for countries but us, especially you, the younger people, because the youth is the future of this country. So anyway, for more information, you may check our website at www.salt.ph. So thank you for listening, and may you have a wonderful morning.